Sundowns players descending on the referee here. See what happens here.
Yes, they saying that's a call from similar similar to the earlier incident where Dooley pulled Vieira, and they claimed that they actually pushed the referee to give the card.
It's a rotational fouling. As we hit the 60th minute mark of the game, double change coming up for Orlando Pirates. Abdullah Mariko and Teofatso Mabasa will soon enter the fray. Tight calls, but they're executing this offside trap to perfection now. Sundowns. The fifth time that they've caught Pirates offside.
I did, and you also know and understand that whenever you play against those speedy players, you need to find a solution as to how to stop them. As things stand, Marvel somehow affected that offside line, but it's also a dangerous one to play. You need to be very, very disciplined in that line. You need to make sure that you step up at the right time as a group.
From Lunga, confirmation 60 minutes into it. It's still Ikram Reina's 17th minute strike that separates the teams. So now still enjoying most of the possession. You wouldn't think it though, having a look at the way players progressed in the second half. The flag stayed down. Now it's gone up against Manuka. And delight for the Sundowns defense yet again. They are loving it. Right, that will be his last involvement. And Mabasa, obviously, the obvious replacement. Sisha Dooley makes way. And on comes Abdullah Marigo. Let's get Tegomudi's thoughts on what Coach Wadu has up sleeve. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious with Mabasa. What about the interaction of this Lamarian Marigo?
I think with Marigo, you look at the Dooley being on the yellow card, you're looking at also just still being able to bite in that midfield, to put your foot in there to find that balance as well. Maybe playing a little bit of risky with the Dooley being on the yellow card, but with Marigo as well, equally very, very balanced in that midfield to spray those passes. Maybe later on you might see some from Dooley, but now you want that stability, you want people to be able to run through, because Marigo now starting to find those pockets, so you need people that actually be able to put in the work in terms of defensive.
Marigo making a second appearance of the season. He's on the bench against Stellenbosch as well. It's tough day at the office. Didn't have a lot to work with, to be fair to him. But he got through his fair share of defending.
Yeah, he does, but because the approach today is a little bit different, where there's too many long balls, and the beneficiary of those can simply be have better wide players. For a striker's point of view, he hasn't been really been serviced.
So now they're going to make a change of their own. And we believe in that man. Tapano Masego is a player that will be introduced. Injection of pace there. Player who has spoken in recent times about his lack of game time and how that concerns him. So eager to impress, and his coach is going to give him an opportunity again and run out. Masego came off the bench in midweek as well. This is Reina's. Matthews. Still touching Matthews. Goal kick. Simple chain. Reached out to the goal kicker while the referee a lost play to continue, so Sundowns will have to wait before they can make their change. Here we go. It's Tashreeq Matthews that will make way. It seems like a straight shot.
It is, and with Maseko against Magezi came on, and he really, really made a difference in terms of finding space and being an outlet going forward with a level of speed. And of course, maybe Coach Kidoso will be expecting the same performance that Maseko showed you in the week, because you do have space. Because you look at it on the right side of Orlando Pass, there's always an overload with Shandu and Sibilibili, so there's always an opening, and I think maybe Maseko might be able to utilize in that space.
So 21-year-old Tapela Maseko comes on then. Gets another appearance off the bench. It's his second appearance off the bench of the season. It's attention rests on his shoulders now. They'll be looking to him to try and find the equalizer, the all-important equalizer that they so need desperately. Easy for Ronwen Williams, maybe too easy for Ronwen Williams. So start to apply the pressure. You know, after the recent seasons, the Buccaneers supporters have become used to success and winning trophies. And the pressure is on this man. He's taking over from a man who's led Sundowns to a final in his two finals, maybe 3 finals in his last season. So, wow, that's some tough acts to follow.
It is, and I'm sure when he took over the job, he knew exactly what he's putting himself in. And also, having so many new players being signed, of course, you're expecting a new team. They're still trying to find the synergy. They're still trying to, the understanding and connection. And also with the coach as well, that has his own philosophy that he's trying to implement into the team. So you do expect some little bit of a wobble, but coming to a team that is, expected to win some trophies, it is pressure indeed.
Dunyera, he's had a good game. Now there he goes, a little bit of a run again, cuts him, likes to cut inside. Wants the return ball here from Maseko. As Luna to do a lot of work, they're tracking back to go and fetch that pass.
Come in.
Pressure on Ronwen Williams there. Mabasa. Raiders. Intercepted there by Bata. Spilavini takes over. Pickpocketed there. Wasema. Masego's got pace. Maseko has found Boaz. Charlie. It's incredible. He's very, very well. He's got skills, the pace as well. Recovery that he has. For a big man, he really does have pace. Money go. That kind of sums up the way the game has gone. For Orlando Pirates, misplaced passes, just haven't had any fluidity at all, haven't got going. They started the second half so well as well, but now Sundowns have regrouped, have collected themselves and are controlling the game again.
That's what you need. We spoke about it earlier on. With all the pressure that Pirates expected to put on, Orlando Sundowns are not in control of the game, they're not in control of the ball and the tempo as well. They will find focus now. You're giving Orlando Pirates the ball, they're countering you, you're giving them with the ball, you're giving them forever having the transitional moment. That's not the team that you want to play transitional moment. No. You need to be in control of the ball to create those chances and let them look for the ball.
Sundowns who lost home and away to Stellies in the semis last year. They're desperately looking to put things right. This is a trophy, as I mentioned earlier, that has always been a bit of a difficult one for them to win. Yes, it's good work from Tomato. He stopped in his tracks.
No.
And there's
Damn it.
and fist pump. They are loving the job they're doing there. The Sundowns defense.
Yeah, Otto finding himself inside those areas where we know that, especially looking at the time now, good back heel there as well. But Dunyeda, very, very solid defensively. Continues again with a good performance.
5 corners to none for Orlando Pirates. Offside flag. Siama was in an offside position. We're talking about history. Was this not the trophy that broke your medals duck? This MTN8 competition. Remember there was that whole thing about the competition? Oh, so was it this one?
No, it was not. It was the league, actually.
Just trying to think, was when Pirates picked up the MTN8 or that you left by then? Or
Yeah.
You left, okay.
It took me years, actually.
Yes. I didn't know what was young.
Like that is silver medal. Yeah, I actually have equally more silver medals than I have. I've got equal numbers actually of silver medals and gold. I've lost as much as I won.
There you go. The upside, it means also you featured in a lot of fights. This game is getting a little bit scrappy now. It really hasn't been the classic that we expected. There's been no fluidity, too much deep start. And Mavasa has gone down and stayed down. Pirates have lost the second leg of an MTN8 before and still gone on to qualify for the final. I think that happened like Stellies, yeah. Lost the second leg 1-0 at home. And still proceeded to the next phase. Sundowns on for their part have only failed to win at home in a second leg of a semi-final on 3 occasions, and one of those was a 3-0 defeat to Orlando Pirates 2 seasons ago. That's a man that I think the fans might be wondering when they're going to get to see him. They call him a master chef. It's Sipho Mbule looking for a run against his former club. I also hope when you see this man, Peter Shalulile, will this be the day he breaks this goal scoring record, the all-time goal scoring record? He has been absolutely remarkable as Peter Shalulile. It's an equalizer! A mistake out of a goal out of nothing, literally. Guess who gets it? He can do no wrong at the moment. Go on, Asmini. The Pirates have found an equalizer from somewhere. A horrible mix-up in defense between keeper and his defenders. And the ball just dribbled into the net. So Gonzalez on his feet momentarily. Cinnamon, 3-3. Unbelievable. They're second in the MTN8. And they were going to look at the replays and they were claiming a handball. Yes, man, there's no VAR.
There's no VAR indeed. But look at the ball that we played by Apollos. I think that balance there, that's it, that Mabasa, I think it fell on to Mabasa there, but considering there was aggression there, comes in, boom, there it is, you can see that Ronald Williams claiming a handball.
Let's see if there was a use of the hand, or maybe he was claiming a use of hand, but certainly not.
What happened from Mabasa? Maybe it hits the head, or maybe the way that Mabasa played, maybe disrupted or maybe suggested that to Roland Williams.
Well, wouldn't you know it? Out of nothing. Game on. It's 1-0. Now, this is the only scoreline that will lead us to a penalty shootout. We still have 15 minutes to play. Lots of football to be played. I suspect now we might see the changes as well coming from Sundowns. Confirmation of the scoreline there. It's been given to Spenebele. Williams goes for safety first. And the Buccaneers now will find their voice. Somehow the team have found a way back into this game.
Yeah, I guess it goes back to the first leg, rather, where the game was too harsh for one pass. Became a better team. The second half, fighting spirit. They continue with that as well. The second half as well. All those changes, playing at the time of a different ball, putting pressure on Mabisa as defenders, long ball, speed, and aggression, getting the results.
In the history of the MTN8, since the introduction of the two-legged semi-finals, Orlando Pirates have not lost a second-leg semi-final match. They played 5-1-2 and drawn 3. They've just dragged themselves back into this one now. They've got a free kick now. Can they complete a turnaround? Headed away. Raiders was helping out in defense. Now, he's in here. Mabasa was pulled back slightly there. Looked like he was pulled back. He's given a corner. Looked to see if the defender maybe let go quickly now before the ref could make the call. But wow, now that goal has just suddenly given Pirates a little bit of a spring in their step. Look at Mabasa here. A little tap, but he let go quickly, the Grand Kicker.
He did, because he was outpaced there by Mabasa. The fighting spirit there from Mabasa, making sure that he really chased for that ball.
The Owners alive and kicking in the MTN8, looking to advance to a fourth successive final of this trophy, and then made their own. They can close within one in terms of the all-time wins in MTN8 if they go all the way and win it again. Close within one of Kaiser Chiefs, so Palace dispossessed. It's a great back now, Tigo Modis. Sanders gets a foot in there. Sundowns regroup here. Here's Masebo. He's got Raiders up there with him now. Slips a pass to Raiders. Excellent from Galase. He's done a job on the Raiders this afternoon. Even the Raiders is on the score sheet. He's kept him quiet. He loves the one-on-one battles, does it? Because when Galase says Otto is pulled back by Masebo, he'll be good. Hasn't been on the field for very long, and now he is entering the referee's book. Is Tapero Masebo.
After losing the ball, I think he had so many options to play. After losing the ball, trying to counter press, go towards just in front. Instead of taking that yellow card, realizing that that might turn into a counter technique that they have passed now, putting so much pressure on the teams.
Lots of things happening there to his coach, who's trying to press and get more game time. Mutiba is on his feet there. Musa is also there. Looks like a triple change in it. It doesn't look like he's one of the ones that are prepared. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see him, if we're going to see him at all, given that we only have 12 minutes. All the way back to Bronwyn Williams. A reminder, if it stays this way, it's straight to penalties. Using Mariko. Jaden Adams. Right gain from him. Looking for the return ball. Lunga. Ayende. The block is from Mbata. Daniela to Reyners. Whips one in. Oh! Now that is such a dangerous ball. It's that one that is played into that corridor of uncertainty. Similar kind of ball that was played in there for the Pirates equalizer.
Indeed, it is a similar ball. That guess who plays that ball? The striker himself, Reyners, playing that ball, that corridor. Defensive work there from Shandu to realize that Jaden was looking at the back.
It's a horror ball to deal with. As a keeper, you don't know whether to come. As a defender, you don't know what's this guy between you and the keeper. So here comes that triple change then. Grankekana makes way for Mosali Musa. Jaden Adams is going to make way. Abdul Salis is also off. And Lebumutiba will place Salis in attack. And then Ombre Mudiba goes out into that midfielding area. Right, let's get our thoughts then. As a ball comes in, it's a header, a free header. Puts it wide.
Free header from Maseko there. And you're expecting Orlando Pirates to defend a little bit better, but maybe the concern as well is Lebo Matiba's height getting into the box. But look at there, Maseko linked very, very nicely there. Unfortunately, he couldn't get to hit the target, but that's what the substitution as well for Coach Kados chasing the game now. You want to possibly maybe get that second one to be able to kill off the game. And maybe Lebo as well coming on, how we saw as well with Fagezi, given that, you know, as an outlet, being the player that actually hold on to the play, hold on to the ball, strong, and you can see how Bogas has been winning that battle. Maybe that's the one that maybe they need to be able to interlink with the players that are coming through.
Motiva finally playing PSL football, of course. A man who's been years in France, his last club there, Strasbourg, and now this is he's back in South Africa with the club where it all started. For him as a junior, can he be the hero here this afternoon? Well, the stage is set for him to be the hero. Excitement, as you see, that's why there's a buzz in the crowd, because Sipho Mbule is preparing to come on against his former club. Oh, wouldn't he love to put in a good performance against Sundowns here? But is it called? It's a free kick to Sundowns. I think some Sundowns supporters would have had their hearts in their throats there for a moment as the man went down. Still taking a bang on the back of the head.
I think it's Shandy there with the ball. I think he used his arm there, so I was
a bit of cover there from Luka. So I think there was a foul at all there. Or was that given as a handball against Shandu? 8 minutes to go. Pirates are also going to make, they're about to make that, it looks like a double change. Mbule. And Snopolo Kwaiba preparing to come on. Well, there's the bosses in charge, the young bosses of these two clubs. Chairman of Mamelodi Sundowns, what's sitting there along Diane Sugar Mabunda. Shandu back up and running. Well, here he goes. Here he is. He's not to be denied at the occasion. Peter Shalulile. Shake of the head. I don't know whether that is to indicate that I can't go on or no, nothing serious.
If you remember as well when really China introduced himself to Orlando Pirates, he was doing those penalties. I'm not expecting him to be substituted, especially knowing that it might lead to that.
If he has to make one-handed saves, they will leave him out there. Yeah. All right. So then if you've just walked in there or in front of a television, these are the goals. This was in the first half. And there was Ikram Reynolds there that opened the scoring. And Sundowns looked in control up to that point. And then this happened. That ball between defenders and keeper. Tried to claim a handball. I don't think Mabasa made any contact with the ball. He tried to. Give Sundowns that.
Yeah, he did try to. And I think also maybe that ball doesn't play, but I think it's a dangerous ball just in between there. Mabasa fighting forward. And it just bounces off Sibilili's legs because he finds himself there as a right winger. He finds himself through there. He's such a goal scoring form. It's an opportunity that he gets at the box to be able to score. And there's a player as well that started as a right fullback in this game. He changed position, play out right.
Still, are you waiting on the sidelines to Mbule? Standing by. Come on. And so Paulo Paiva will be the attacking option that's introduced as well. Well, as in a striker option. Bata makes way. Bring on the creative guy of Sipo Mbule. He has to stand up. These are the kind of games that Pirates signed him for. These are the games where he has to stand up and see why the fans love him and rate him so highly and call him Master Chef, Shevchenko, all kinds of things. So it's not usual. When a player arrives at a club and already he's been christened with a nickname. There he is. This one doesn't need a nickname. He's the all-time joint leading goal scorer in the PSL, Peter Shalulile. Well, the stage is set for him to break that record of 129 goals. But he doesn't have a great deal of time to do that. It's just under 4 minutes to go in the game. Dunyela has had an excellent game. Waiva, of course, the other man who has come on. Sundowns going in search of this. Surely the next goal wins this tie. Mugwena se nga towards Bilibili fouled. It's been another great game for him.
I mean, he has an outstanding second half, Sibilili. And Liverpool Pirates, they need a man to be able to uplift the team this season. This has been the man that works so hard defensively and adding numbers going to attack, and also being able to chip in there with the important goals that kept Orlando Pirates alive.
These sides content to go to penalties. I doubt it. No one wants to leave it to that lottery. Kaiba couldn't connect. Mariko goes wide to Sibelebele. Possibilities here for Pirates now. And they snatch it at the death. Sibelebele overruns it and loses out to Divine Lunga. Another one who's had a solid game. In fact, the two fullbacks for Mamelodi Sundowns have been brilliant. Here he is, Sipo Mbule. What's the ball? Keanu Cupido. Stranwalia Mutiba. Guess who does the cover? The sweeping at the back is Mbogas.
That's another one also that had an exceptional game defensively there for Orlando Pirates.
Leading by example, the PSL's youngest captain. That's 19-year-old Ndayezeli Mbogas. Another solid shift he's putting in. As I said, he's a no-nonsense kind of captain. Gets on with it. Doesn't shout at other players. Leads by example. Now a bit of aggro, keeping in. Again, played in good spirit for the most part. So the referee is just going to nip it in the bud and call both of them to order. All's good. Now, again. Floated in. The referee saw something he didn't like there. Mr. Eugene Mzule, who I've got to say, for the most part, has had a good game. Jacob Mdisa, would you agree?
In most parts he did, but especially in the first half, there's a couple of calls that were there. I think he could have controlled the game a little bit better, especially with those tackles. We could have issued cards a little bit earlier on, but in the second half, the game has calmed down. The game is flowing. That's what you want to see, and also he's controlling that as well as from the players. The emotions as well have come down a bit.
Pirates looking to reach the final of the MTN8 for the 5th time in 6 seasons. They have owned this competition in recent times of the Buccaneers. Looked for all money like they were heading out. And then they found a way. And that's what their good teams do. They find a way. Free kick for the challenge on Sipho Bule.
What he does and what he brings to another part, that calmness, that midfield, that belief that can actually play within those pockets. And Mapisanas know how dangerous he is.
Piano Kipiro gets his head onto that one. Otto happy to settle for the corner. Into stoppage time, a second minute of stoppage time now. Minimum 6 minutes. It's a long, long time. Otto. It's up for grabs now. And it's impact there. Also pushing into that box now. Otto. Headed away by Mutiba, I think it was. Hit on the volley by Smelly. Wouldn't that be a story? Wouldn't that be a story? How to make yourself a fan favorite in the first month of joining a club. That's what Sibilivili is in the process of doing. Muti to apply pressure on Sipho Chain. Yellow underneath it. Bule comes away with the ball. Now, can they get Bule into the box? They got men in there. Show too much of that fancy there. And it's kept in play by Sibilivili. He goes against Peter Shalulile. Oh, it's a throw-in, actually. Target. Hasn't gotten into the game yet, Peter Shalulile, but then again, he doesn't need that many touches to make an impact. Scored the second goal in Sundowns 2-0 win against KC to bring up the 129 PSL goals in the PSL competitions. Look at Mbule. He's crowded out as Mudiba leaves the ball behind Kwaiba. It's got Sibilivili to his right. It's Pirates that are asking all the questions later on here. Throw in, no foul given for the challenge on Lunga. Heavy contact there. Sure, at the core. So just a heavy first touch. Bogas. Mistake by Arthur, and then a rare mistake by Bogas.
I think it's his first mistakes on the game.
Turns out he's human. just this man machine we are getting to know. Flicked on by Kwaiba. Into the last 2 minutes. And if Sundowns do go on to lose this match, they will be bitterly disappointed. They had it under control for so long, and the goal they conceded as well will haunt them.
Well, indeed. I think if they had to lose this game, don't look at the both legs as well, where they had so much control of the game. They scored first, and they allowed that pass to come back into the game.
This is the time that these two sides are meeting in a two-legged MTN8 semi-final. The last being 22-23. Pirates progressed from both matches. Here they are. They took themselves in a position to do that again. Abdullah Mariku. Misplaced the pass, but he gets away with it. Still away. Mama says, Kwaiba easily dispossessed there by taken away from him by Ayen Tewomukwena, looking for Masego and finding him. Great pass. Now, Masego looking to take on Boraz. Stanwell here, Masego! Great challenge there from Seba to get it away. Stanwell there, Masego. That's what the coach wants from a winger. Take on the fullback.
You want to do that more often, and I think he does have capabilities and speed, but then again, he doesn't do that often, and you will need that from a winger, especially with his speed.
This is going to run behind for a goal kick. And now we are into, well, the 6 minutes is almost up. Looks as if it will be penalties to settle this one. Miguel Delgoso, no one just going through his mind. I suppose we're at that stage now when you've got to think about who's going to take your penalties.
I'm sure you practice that the training ground. You need to look at all the options and possibilities. And here we are, penalty shootout. You need to have those players on the pitch.
There you go. All over. 180 minutes of football could not separate these two great sides. And therefore, they'll have to do it with kicks from 12 yards out to decide who of these two sides will be the first into the final of the MTN8 for 2025. Then there are 7 now. This is the third time. There are 7 draws in this competition. 2 games have been decided on penalties. And Pirates advanced on both occasions. So, if history is anything to go by, the odds are stacked heavily in favor of Orlando Pirates. But this game is not played in history. It's about the here and now. Who's going to put their hand up? Who's going to take the responsibility of these kicks? Were you always amongst the first to put their hands up, Diego Modisa?
Yes, indeed. I've always been the player that always wanted to take penalties. And even during the game, we always have the top of the list as to then if the first penalty comes up, who's going to take it, and the second one, always the third option as well. And I remember as well when I moved to Cape Town City playing Mamelodi Sundowns in the second leg semi-final of this competition. We came here and we won 5 penalties against Mamelodi Sundowns, and we went on as Cape Town City to actually win it. So Mamelodi Sundowns really on penalties, they never really that great. But yet again, maybe the having Ronald Williams as well, knowing that his presence, and also from another past point of view, you can also say the same thing about China.
Well, yeah, it's decision time now for players and coaches. Who will take on this responsibility then? It comes down to this. It ended 1-1 after 90 minutes. Goes from Ingram Reines and Kameno Sivilevi. Pirates who have got the most impressive record in this competition. They've only lost 2 of their last 19 matches in the MTN8. 1-13 and drew 4. The second of those defeats, though, did not even stop them from advancing. Lost.
So now you would bet that now it is time now for goalkeeper coaches now to shine, because then you would have done your homework as to then knowing as to then opposition as to who you normally kick, and if they do kick, what type of side they're going to, the type of work that you as a goalkeeper coach that you have done with the goalkeepers as well. These are the moments, as much as your goalkeeper coaches and unsung heroes never really speak about, but these moments are really, really for the Mets. You see in so many games when the goalkeepers make mistakes, they always run to the goalkeeper coach because the type of work that they put in close doors.
Is that a calm Shopping Matsipa, or is that a Shopping Matsipa pretending to be calm?
He's always a calm coach.
Nail biting. Was that Malusi Gigaba, Member of Parliament? Decked out in his Pirates colours? He doesn't need to wear the colours. Everyone knows where his loyalties are. Oh my God. So we await then. Morgan Gould is looking on. He's been involved in many battles as well. Of this MTN8. Space of Kaiser Chiefs. There it is. The TLB. That's over there. One of our Super Sport colleagues also looking on. Acting like Mayor of Ridgeville. This is his hometown.
His hometown.
Alright then, so then the two captains will meet with the officials to decide who takes the first one and which end they will take the penalties. Mahazi looking unfazed, calm as ever. Ronan Williams up from a goalkeeping point of view. I think goalkeepers, from a goalkeeper's point of view, you can only be a hero in a penalty shootout. Never heard a goalkeeper being blamed for a loss on penalties. So there we go. Looks like Ronan Williams has won the toss. Couldn't figure out though who were you able to make out what choice he made.
Maybe he wants to be the first one
to face. Alright, Super Chain has been a hero before against the same Sundowns. Can he do it again, or will this be some kind of a sweet revenge for Mamelodi Sundowns? Williams. Yeah, asking for some inspiration from above. I would imagine Sipho Mbule will be amongst the takers, having come off the bench. Here comes goalkeepers seemingly are ready. Ronan Williams is ready. He's been ready for a while. It's just in determining the order of your takers. Once you've got your five, determining the kind of order you go in, you leave that to the players, or does the coach make the determination once you've got the five that will take?
You do have coaches that will go down to 8 to 9 players.